Hey guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. The second part of this series, and in this part I want to show you how to create this patina and aging here for this existing building and for the floors. So let's start right away. I have this leakings and decals here from textures.com. So I don't know if there's any other place where to find them. Yeah, but we are going to use some of them, and we are going to use them to overlay them kind of to our existing structure here, to our rendering. So we need to find like here a spot where we want to overlay it, and we need to transform it using Command T, so to match the perspective. And then we can grab the right ID here. All right, and usually I'm going to multiply the image, so that means only the black or the darker parts will be visible on the surface. So, and then we can just play around with it. I'm going to I like this very much. This looks nice. So we want to create this kind of natural looking signs of aging. And of course you can also do that inside of your 3D model. So you could actually go for a very complicated method and use UV mapping for that. Or you could also use decals inside of Corona. But I think actually this overlay methods in Photoshop is the most efficient and fast way of getting it work. And also you can iterate a lot and try different decals. And I think for me it's really the most easiest way. If you have one viewpoint and you don't use different camera angles, you can totally do that in Photoshop. So again, here I'm trying to match the right perspective for this upper part and use the multiply again. And you can see if I don't unlink it, it will move with the mask. So I'm gonna need to unlink the mask from the image, and then we can freely play around and transform it, and it will stick at the same position. So I'm going to increase the scale here for that. And yeah, this starts to look a bit more like this building has seen some years and has some past and some story to tell, kind of. So this is what we want to create, right? We want to create an atmosphere, and especially here in the image, we want to convey the idea that this building on the left is older than the newly built wooden structure here. So this is a nice way of doing it. Like, we can add kind of a story layer to it and show the viewer that there's been some aging going on. And yeah, you won't I'm not a big fan of overdoing some of those effects, so it should be subtle, but if you find the right level of implementing those effects, I think it looks just more believable and not as much as a 3D model, especially for those existing buildings. It's nice to bring some natural feel to it. But you can of course totally use those decals also for newer buildings that you want to portray, so that they get also a sense of like time to it. And yeah, it's always nice to have this natural touch to it. And so I'm going to do that also for the stone wall here. So I like this decal here a lot. It has also some green tones in it and indicates some like that there's some kind of moss layer or something like that. So yeah, we lose some of that green if we put it on multiply. But you can also, of course, try different layer modes here and maintain also the color if you like. But yeah, that's a nice thing about it. This is a very kind of artistic side of editing here. So you can really play around with it and test for yourself what looks good. So I like to place this decal here on the stone wall on the bottom. And you can see we also kind of enhance or accentuate the shape of the building itself, and also the shape of the stone wall itself. So it gets a bit more it acts like an AO pass. We sharpen up those edges a bit, and therefore they stick out a bit more and become a bit more visible. So we could go on with this forever. Like you can really put in lots of details. It's up to you how much time you want to spend on this. Again, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use the quick way here, but still I think the results are very nice. And also here can use this on multiply screen, look also very nice. If you put it on screen, it kind of sits on top and brightens up things. So multiply is kind of I don't know how to say. It feels like it's embedded in the stucco, and if you put things on screen, it sits kind of on top of it. So you can play around with the layer with multiply or screen or whatever layer mode you wanna try. And I'm gonna just use a copy of this one. No, that was the wrong layer. You're gonna use a copy of this one and try to put it up there. Of course, it's not a good sign that there's some leakings, and yeah, and I don't know if they would be in reality, but I think it still looks convincing to me. So let's increase the size of that one. It's also very nice to break up some even looking surfaces. Like only if you just use it very slightly with a very low opacity, you can break up some of those very even looking surfaces that you typically get sometimes in 3D from 3D programs or renderings. So yeah, I like this leaking here for the for the stone wall. Let's find the right mask for that. And of course we need to fix the perspective and get rid of that part. And yeah, I think it really starts to look natural, and it's also very much fun, I think, to just paint over those parts and see how they become alive. All right, let's clean up this mess a bit, but you can see what it does, and yeah, I like that. All right, let's try this one. Maybe here for this smaller face, and maybe we can also put it, increase it, and put it here on top of the building to further break up the surface. Yeah, something like this. It also adds a layer of structure. So, all right. Some more stuff. I'm going wild here. But yeah, I think the more layers you put on there, it really helps. So now I'm trying to use the screen layer mode, and you can see what it does. It actually creates those brighter areas here on the surface, and really looks nice, I think. All right, one more leaking here for this concrete bench. You can see sometimes materials blend into each other, and you cannot really read them. The form is not really there. So with this level, or with this method here of accentuate your edges, you can really make the forms stand out a bit more. Like here with this concrete bench, it gives some weight to it. All right. So I like it, and now I think what we can do now is I want to bring in this image here with this gravel. You can find it also in the zip file that you can download. I will put the link in the description and the comments of the video. So you can download the whole PSD file, and also this images here I'm using to overlay our floor. So I just want to get rid of those parts here. So I'm going to select them and use a content aware fill, which is really nice to get rid of those parts, and therefore we can enlarge our texture kind of. All right. So let's bring it, convert it into a smart object, and let's bring it into the scene. And I'm gonna use that as an overlay for the gravel pathway here in the background or in the middle ground, just to make it look a bit more natural, because also this surface here is very even, and in reality you would have some minor details and stuff that makes the surface break up a bit. So I'm going to use it on multiply, And you can see what it does. It really darkens up the surface, which is too much for us because we only want the details to be visible. So therefore, if we remember, multiply means only if we put some spots here to very bright value, to kind of already almost white, they will disappear if we put it on multiply, and only the darker parts of the image, like the details, will be visible. So I'm going to play around a bit with the curves here and to find a good amount of brightness and find the sweet spot that leaves us with all the details. So I'm going to use another curves, brighten it up, and you can see some minor leaves and details will be visible, and they add a really nice touch, like to the floor. I like it. Now the bottom floor looks a bit too clean, so I want to fix that and bring in another image here of this asphalt. You can find this image also in the zip file, and this one looks also nice. So I like the grain of this image, and I want to implement this grain on top of our floor. So let's grab the right mask for that. And I also like the color, kind of. I like that it desaturates our blues a bit. And I'm going to use a curve again, and of course if we use this layer on multiply, you can see there's not much left of it, but something. There's some grain that I really like, and that breaks up the perfect 3D surface here. Alright, so let me copy the gravel texture. I want to bring in some of that to the bottom floor also. Something like this. And I really like the green kind of mossy feel next to the building that comes with it. This is like what you would call some happy accidents. Fits really good, and of course we don't want too much of that grain. It looks a bit noisy if we exaggerate that effect, but we can always use a brush and mask it away a bit. So that's what we are going to do here. I'm going to use a soft brush and just go over it a bit so that the effect is not that strong and we don't have too much noise. But other than that, I'm really satisfied with the effect here. I like the colors, I like the details that it gives us. I think we lack some of the lighting, so I want to use an overlay and bring back some of the lighting here in this area. But that's basically it for the second part of this series. In the next part, I want to finish the image. I want to make some light adjustments, add some haze, and also integrate 2 cutouts into the image. I hope you like this one. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the bell, to get notified for the next part. And see you in the next time. Bye.